Today, we're diving into our first 2025 construction update for Universal's Epic Universe. With the park officially opening on May 22nd, crews are working around the clock to bring everything to life. Rumors are also going around that annual pass holder previews and maybe even early access previews could be happening sooner than we think. Before we jump into today's construction update, let's get everyone up to speed. Universal's Epic Universe is a brand new theme park located just a few miles south of Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure. This massive addition will feature several immersive lands including How to Train Your Dragon, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Universal's Monsters, and Super Nintendo World. Now that we're all caught up, let's get into the construction update. Coming to the portal entrance for Epic Universe, we can now see detailed inscriptions at the Chronos. This now matches perfectly with the Epic Universe preview we've seen previously. This will be Epic Universe's grand portal entrance when entering the park. The Chronos also appears to have a new sphere, which most likely will light up at night, as we've seen Universal testing their lighting early in December of 2024. Speaking of entrances, we can see some brand new text on the Island of Berk's entrance saying, "We, my friends, have dragons." We can clearly see from late January that each portal entrance will have its own unique lighting element that glows. This will light up all around the park, highlighting each immersive land in Epic Universe. We've also seen testing of Donkey Kong's Minecart Madness Waterfall system, which is looking very impressive and will be one of the main attractions in Super Nintendo World. We've also seen fire testing at Burning Blade Tavern, which is another impressive effect given the fact that the wheel is spinning. With recent aerial footage of the park, we can see a lot of work has been completed for each land. All 4 portal entrances are now known to have their inscriptions. Moving over, we can see the development for the cascading water feature in front of Epic Universe. At the top right is the underground kitchen of the Atlantic restaurant. It is expected that more dirt will be placed here soon. This entire site that we see here is moving very quickly. Directly in front of the park's entrance, we can see there is still a lot of work to be done for the Luna Overlook. It seems like Universal is building its paths and structures around each water element before filling them in. And we can see that they are almost done with the pavement process at the front entrance as well. The Isle of Berk is looking fabulous and the surrounding scenery looks straight out of a How to Train Your Dragons movie. This area also seems to be a place for people to view the drill boat ride as it's in motion. And we've recently seen some frame over seating development for Spitfire Grill. The Viking training also does seem to be in development as well. The Isle of Berk also seems to have its first Coca-Cola machines, which can be seen wrapped in plastic at Grog and Fuel. Just when we think the detail was complete, Universal added some dragon artwork to the side of the bridge at the Isle of Berk. And lastly for this land, Hiccup's wing gliders have been seen continuous testing their ride vehicles. This part of the ride will make riders think they are diving right into the water with the fog and mist effect. Diving into the dark universe, Universal's Monsters, we can now see "It's alive, it's alive," the transcription being referenced from Universal's 1931 film Frankenstein. We can also see some yellow boxes which appear to be able to retract into the ground, possibly for dealing with crowds. More Dark Universe testing was underway with smoke coming out of one of the chimneys. For the Curse of the Werewolf ride, the safety frames are officially in place. This will act as a cover for when the track is going over the paths to protect people from walking below. We should see some netting being put up very soon. Recently, there was a tour guide being conducted in the Dark Universe land, and we are not sure why, but there was also violin players being played. Maybe this is possibly for employees being trained, or just in general some first tours being conducted for a select group of people. A tour was also seen recently at the How to Train Your Dragon Theater. They are still wearing hard hats, so it's unclear as to who these people actually are. From Monsters Unchained the Frankenstein, we can now see that standby queuing is on the left and express will be on the right. Some of the decorative windows are still missing on the top areas of the mansion. Universal was also testing effects at the top of the Frankenstein Manor. This looks like it may potentially be themed to some sort of soundtrack or will be on loop throughout your visit in the park. In the part of the outside queue for Frankenstein's Unchained, we can see a park bench was recently added towards the center. More and more fire testing burning has been happening at Burning Blade Tavern. Dark Universe is definitely one of my favorite attractions so far for my pre-planned visit to Epic Universe. This land is extremely well themed and will possibly have one of the coolest dark rides in the park. Moving to Stardust Racers, we can now see green canopies over the queue area where guests will be waiting to ride this awesome ride. We can see a lot of work underway to the right of the queue, but there is still a little bit more theming required for this ride to be completed. The attention to detail that Universal is putting into each little aspect will be the difference in a unique guest experience. The Constellation Carousel still needs some more terrain work next to the fountains. We can see a chain of fountains inside of the pond, which most likely will be for a time-themed system that guests can watch while walking. The top of the carousel has finally got its finish, giving it a very star-themey feel. A lot of work is happening in this area, but if you take a closer look, we can see a test window over the decorative trim has been placed. Perhaps they will be adding this around the entire carousel soon. A quick break from attractions, let's take a look at the resorts. Terra Resort is looking complete and will officially be opening March 25th, and a bit of development has been made surrounding the hotel. If we compare this hotel with the original concept art, it almost feels identical outside of the color saturation. Just a little bit more work needs to be done, and we should see this hotel opened very soon. Peach's Castle has some final scaffolding at the main entrance. Super Nintendo World will have the most moving features out of the entire park, so this likely will be the most tedious for Universal's crew to complete. For Celestial Park, we have the bandshell. Perhaps this will be a perfect location for artists to perform, or maybe just a place for people to sit. Let me know what you think will be here in the comments below. We have new February 1st aerial photos of the Phoenix Gate and portal of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. We can see a lot of new additions have been recently added to this land. Everything here seems very tall and open and extremely detailed. This will be one of the taller areas in Epic Universe, making you feel as if you were actually traveling through a giant city. The immersive feel of this land, just from its pure scale and mass, will be insane to walk through. If you look to the left, we can see a service door is open to the courtyard of the Harry Potter world, and detailed themed trash cans can be seen on the curb to the right. We also maybe have more tours going on in this section of the park if we look at the bottom right. Posters have also been applied to the column in the streets of Paris, and it does seem as if this crew member has become aware of its surroundings. Looking at the queue for Le Cirque Garganzas, I probably did say that wrong, but I do wonder how this new red tent will handle heavy rain. Knowing Universal, it most likely will do just fine. But the question is Universal hiding a hidden Mickey in this queue? It does look like that would be the case, or is this just a really rare coincidence? And once again, the sheer mass of this land is just phenomenal. Here are some more detailed images for what's been added. We'll go over this area pretty quick. I mean, we can see new statues, new lamps, new trash cans. We can see new lighting systems at the top of these buildings, which definitely tells us at night this is going to be a beautiful sight to see, and most likely we'll see a bunch of shadows being casted down or lights on the top of the balconies. Either way, I think it's going to, portray a really cool night effect. And like mentioned earlier, these are 3.5 story buildings. These are very large structures. So when you're walking in here, you're going to just automatically want to look up and out around you. You're going to feel like you're walking in New York City. It's going to be a very, very big area for a lot of people. I like that you're actually feeling like you're a part of the world. You can't see out anywhere else past the buildings. That, to me, is art. Here is a quick look at Universal's electric bus service near Epic Universe. Now, for our curious viewers out there, if you're wondering, are they doing a monorail to Epic Universe? That's a big no. I mean, let's think about that like realistically and logically for a second. First of all, there's a lot of road work going on, right? We've seen it. I can show you right here. There's a lot of road expansions already underway. So to basically the fact that that is happening and just do a monorail anyway, that would not really make sense budget-wise. And by the way, I'm gonna throw some more stuff on the screen, just some comparisons and stuff. That way, I'm talking about this, you could still see more updates. But Universal Studios to Epic Universe is not like a straight line. There's 3 highways they would need to go over, and the majority of iDrive, which includes a lot of massive structures, hotels, I think there's a Ferris wheel, there's Lockheed Martin. So, whoever thinks that, Universal would, do something like that going back and forth, that would be a very impressive but expensive project, and I just don't see that being the case. And I don't know how tunnels work in Florida, but I imagine that's not even on the table. So, to answer your question in full, I think a monorail system is not going to happen. But yeah, guys, I mean, these images of sunset are looking great, but I wouldn't be able to share them to YouTube with you guys if it wasn't for BioReconstruct. So I just wanted to mention that they do have an X account, almost said Twitter, formal Twitter, whatever we want to call it, and they also have a YouTube account. They share a lot more images over there. They also have videos, so you'll be able to access all of, the construction updates before I can even make a video. So I just wanted to give a shout out to BioReconstruct because their page is the reason all of these YouTubers are able to even cover this material. But these are basically most of the changes for Epic Universe. Like I said earlier, a lot of things are constantly changing. There's constantly being, new banners, new trash cans. I mean, sometimes walls are already being put up like just within minutes of sharing old information. So a lot is going on at this park, and it's very hard to, break it down tediously. So I would recommend you go check out BioReconstruct if you want, a one-to-one breakdown, because they pretty much post every day what it seems like, and they post a lot of content regarding all the theme parks in the Orlando area. I do appreciate everybody who watched this video. If you did enjoy it, it'd mean the world if you could leave a like and subscribe. If you guys have any extra information to contribute to this video, I would recommend you jot it down in the comment section. That will help this video, and it will help others that are reading through. I will see you guys in the next theme park video. This is Theme Park Basic. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great one.